And a good Thursday evening to you. 2K Sports presents the NBA. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Well, thanks very much, guys. Now, it's no secret at the end of quarters, players will wait until just after the buzzer sounds to fire up heaves, so they won't hurt their field goal percentage. To encourage a nothing-to-lose approach on these plays, many say it's past time that the league only counts the makes in those situations. Kevin, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. Do it. Thanks, TA. Well, we're used to seeing a lot of player movement in the offseason, so how long do you think it takes, Doris, for a reconstructed team to get together and find that mesh point?
Kevin, that is not an answer we will know. A season has to play out. Look back to the Boston Celtics, who were 20-21 at one point before going on to the NBA Finals. Chemistry, how you're going to play, new faces, all of these things have to find a way to come together.
Here are the five for the Clippers. The guard and off guard, filled by Jackson and Powell. Down in the block, it'll be Kawhi next to Zubac. And it's George in at the 3 spot. And for Oklahoma City, they've got Holmgren. Josh Giddey is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then it's Lou Dort. And it's Pokusevski in at the 4 slot. Now George, after Norman Powell missed from long range. Clock at 4. The shot's good on the assist by George.
As good a scorer as he is, we know that Paul George is not a ball stopper. Excellent decision right there.
Now the Clippers trading last season for Norman Powell. And as they say, Greg, the rich get richer.
Yeah, an excellent two-way player. Their wing depth becoming the envy of the league. And he's just coming into his prime. So he fits the timeline of their star.
Now here's George. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That's his first foul. First team foul. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Here's Leonard. Zubac trying to break loose. And Leonard gets it to go.
Now, this is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
Now Holmgren. From 13, that one no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Gilgeous-Alexander against Jackson. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
I love to see a guard who's willing to fight through contact and finish. Reggie Jackson does just that.
It's been a slow start here for Oklahoma City. Still without a basket in the game. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
I thought they were outworked and outplayed in just about every phase of the game. Maybe that's one of those situations where you say, hey, let's move on.
Hits it from three-point range.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Amir Coffey's checked in for the Clippers. Mann comes in for Jackson. And it's still early in the year, but already some trends developing as we check out the new power rankings. You take a look at the Pistons. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when you look at Los Angeles, they've sure made a statement here early on, outpacing some teams that were expected to be better, owning that top spot and defending it with pride.
You know, one thing, Greg, the Thunder have done a great job drafting international players.
Players like Serge Ibaka, Steven Adams in the past, a few good ones on this current roster as well. Credit the OKC scouts for just finding guys all over the world.
Now here's Powell. After the miss from Chet Holmgren. To the left wing. There's the triple. And another 3 for the Clippers.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Here's Holmgren. And again, unable to change momentum here.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And here's Leonard. An 11-point game for him in the win against Oklahoma City. And it's Leonard with the jam.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure. And given that Holmgren is 7 feet tall, he's a threat to throw it down at any time.
Los Angeles leading by 13. Here's Mann. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Beyond the arc. Takes it out to Leonard. It's Powell on the wing. Back to Leonard. 6 to shoot. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Coffey hits the three-point bomb. Coffey's got 6 points.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Gilgeous-Alexander looking around. Pass to Pokusevski. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Leonard picks him up, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. Both teams will make substitutions. Shot clock at 5. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Poked away.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
And yes, it's good.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. They really needed more from him in that loss to the Clippers. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And he lays it straight in.
This guy's got tremendous length for his position. So at 6'6", Gilgeous-Alexander confident attacking in the paint.
To the right side. Here's Coffey. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. The Clippers on top, up by 16. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Clippers?
We've got a bunch of this game yet to be played, but they're shooting it well from the three-point line. That's got to be a welcome sight.
Yeah, what an excellent display of passing in the early stages of this game. A good deal of their points coming directly off quality passes.
So with George on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. We've got Wall. Morris is out there with Robert Covington. And there's Jackson. And it's Coffey in at the 3.
Such a smoothness and ease to the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays. What a pretty drive. Makes it look easy.
Here's Wall.
Gentlemen, if we go back to the summer of 2019, that is the summer where the Clippers got both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. When they made those moves, everyone expected this to be an NBA Finals team.
And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the Thunder. They trail by 16. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Here's Mann. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Shot clock at 3. The offensive rebound over to the left wing. Gilgeous-Alexander against Wall. There's a screen. And Gilgeous-Alexander, here we go. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 points this quarter. Los Angeles leading by 14. They did, and thus far for Los Angeles, no finals trips in the last 3 seasons of Leonard and George.
That's exactly right, Kevin. In the bubble playoffs in Orlando, they got close. But then Kawhi got hurt during the 2021 playoffs. And last year, Kawhi out for the entire season. So health has been a critical factor in their failures.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Well, the Thunder are trying to build something that will last. The front office says you stick to your principles, your values, and you think long term. We're focused on building a sustainably great team. We continue to be forward-facing in that respect. Kevin, back to you.
It's a good philosophy, and they're not looking for any shortcuts, which is admirable. David, thanks. Dort, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Josh Giddey comes in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Los Angeles making a switch here. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. It's George on the wing. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Thunder trailing by 12. This team is credited Giddey's background for shaping him as a player.
You know, he grew up in a house dominated by basketball. Both his parents played professionally in Australia, and that goes a long way toward developing your basketball IQ.
Clippers have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. The pass to Boston. Outside for George. Lets the 3 fly. Buries it from 3-point range. George has got 6.
Well, Paul George, so dangerous from beyond the arc. You better get a hand up and contest.
Baisley passes to Mann. To the paint. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Left side, Leonard. Here's the 3. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Passes it to Dort. On the wing, Giddey. The 3. And the 3 ball is good. Giddey's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, if this becomes a consistent part of Josh Giddey's game, look out, because that 3-point shot's going to make him so dangerous.
Good ball movement here by the Clippers. From deep, George score the basket, his third after 5 shots.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Thunder trailing by 14. Man passes to Muscala. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. .131 left in the second quarter. Here's Wall. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
What a play by Wall. It's going to take more than that to slow him down.
And after not playing for a season, John Wall back in action, bought out by the Rockets, and he signs with the Clippers. If he can get back to where he was, that's a huge win for the Clippers. Could serve as a deadly third option for L.A.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Holmgren comes in for Mike Muscala. And it's Pokusevski in for Baszler.
Mind the lanes. One shot.
And this Thunder team in desperate need of a veteran, someone on their way out that can still be productive and provide some leadership for the young guys.
To the middle. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And that outstanding drive and finish brought to you by Mobile One.
And putting that pressure on the rim. That's what it's all about, threatening with that attack.
Leonard on the wing. Three-pointer. Drills the three-pointer. Leonard's got 6 points in the quarter. So now, how does Oklahoma City, Greg, get back into the mix in the Western Conference?
Kevin, it's going to be tough. Just so much inexperience on the roster right now. Keeping the core here, yeah, but experienced players to fill out that roster.
They get the rebound. Giddey the pass to Holmgren. Pass to Man. Clock at 6. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Giddey, no good. Clippers leading by 16. In the corner, Powell with it. The three. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Man. Pass to Pokusevski. The baseline J off the mark.
All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Clippers lead by 19. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Here with Ty Lue, good rhythm for your offense in the first half. What did you like about the start?
Moving the basketball, taking the right shot, making the right play. We make the extra pass, we're a tough team to beat.
And you were sure tough in the first half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And as we welcome you to halftime, no other way to say it, an abysmal start for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Definitely they need to get out on the three-point shooters and contest. The deep ball is killing them. This is what happens when the other team identifies your weakness and just keeps hammering on it.
And guys, we're still in the early parts of this season, but the power rankings are shaping up.
I think for Oklahoma City, past week was UGLY. They ain't got no alibi. You need to figure it out.
No wins with 3 losses. I do like your cheerleading, Shaq. You need the pom-poms. But they need to find a really good stretch right here and play better.
Well, I was not trying to sound like a cheerleader, but now I am. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Kenny, you ugly.
And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look they wanted.
You know, as a coach, you can preach good shot selection, but it's up to the players to execute, and this guy has done just that.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Josh Giddey. Then there's Holmgren. Then it's Lou Dort. And it's Pokusevski in at the 4-man position. And that's who Mark Daigneault starts the second half. That one goes. Just count it. Holmgren's got the first basket of the third quarter for the Thunder. I've heard it said, Greg, a coach can't give you confidence, but they can take it away. What's the meaning behind that?
Well, players at this level are naturally confident, but when coaches are always critical, it can take you out of your game. Makes you just start to think a little too much on the floor.
And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks a lot, guys. Josh Giddey has been attracting admirers, including LeBron James. The King said he's really, really good. He has a great pace about the game, great vision. Josh is one of those kids who can definitely see the game a lot quicker than most guys out on the floor, and he's showing it. Just been playing beautiful basketball. Kevin, that's high praise.
It is. Both amazing passers. David, thank you. Now the pass to Holmgren. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Now, here's Zubac. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Good.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
That's a finish he'll be bragging about for a while.
As he should. Very impressive.
How about that from your point guard, gentlemen? Playing big at the rim, okay?
And the Clippers call time here. And the Thunder with some changes. Favors comes in for Holmgren. And Baisley subbed in for Josh Giddey. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. In the corner, George with it. There's the 3. Nailed from three-point land. George has got 12.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter. Beautiful.
Doris, it's been great to see the Clippers rise to prominence over the last 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this was an organization that spent years in futility, but you have to admire the transformation that has led to consistent success. They used to be a franchise that made the playoffs maybe once in a decade. Now you expect them to contend in the West.
And here is Dort, following the three-pointer by Nicholas Batum. Passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Down low, here's Favors, and Derek Favors with the slam.
With repetition, you can see the court awareness of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander developing. This guy is going to be a problem as a passer.
Clippers leading by 22. Now here's Jackson. On the wing, Batum. Fires the 3, and another 3 for the Clippers.
All these threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
Pokusevski, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. 1:46 left in the third quarter of the game. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. So both teams changing it up here.
First team foul. Substitution on the court.
Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to man. Lets it go from deep. The Clippers grab the miss.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
A three from Leonard. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Leonard's got 13.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Took him no time at all on that one.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Pass to Leonard. Left side, Wall. The pass to Powell. The tray. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Oklahoma City has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Passes it to man. There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Outside, Wall. From deep, George. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. It's good. 12 points for him.
This guy's showing off his entire offensive package right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in full effect.
Here's Wall. Banked in off the glass.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Clippers ahead, delivering the blowout. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. So with George on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. Wall and Powell are the guard set. Luke Kennard out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Morris in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Powell. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got his 4th assist in this one.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And here is Maledon. And the play-in tournament, Greg, is here to stay, but the terminology is somewhat in limbo. Is that going to be part of the playoffs?
You hear people say it's not the playoffs, it's the play-in. Maybe the term postseason should cover both the play-in and the playoff. Something to think about.
The Thunder shooting at 50% in a decent groove. There's a good screen with the drive. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on John Wall. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Clippers.
Well, I've been impressed with the ball movement all game long. They're really looking to just make that extra pass.
I think the other thing we're seeing tonight is the floor spacing of this team. Boy, they are shooting the cover off the basketball all game.
That free throw, good for Melodon. For the Clippers organization, GA, what do you think the goal is?
Well, it's clear to me, Kevin, get to the NBA Finals. The Clippers have never made it there, and I think a trip to the Finals is within reach of this group. They just need to stay healthy.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Holmgren's checked in, and so he hits both. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Pass to Powell. Kennard for three. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
And so here is Oklahoma City after Los Angeles picked up three with their last shot. They set the screen. Jerome tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Morris looking over the floor. For a while, the East was all LeBron. And the West, Doris, as we know, the West was dominated by Golden State. But now, does the league, do you feel more wide open?
Well, certainly when you look at last season, I thought there were 4 teams in the East that absolutely had a shot to make the finals. Contingent on health. Obviously, Milwaukee, without Chris Middleton, struggled to get over the finish line. In the West, you had 3 teams who I thought legitimately could advance. So certainly the gap between playoff teams feels smaller.
Here's Wall. After the made shot from Chet Holmgren. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Just slashes right past the defender. He is one tough cover, John Wall.
For the Thunder, Okashevsky's checked in for Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. And Josh Giddey subbed in for Ty Jerome. Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. Amir Coffey comes in for Norman Powell. And that one falls for John Wall. During the last decade, from 2010 on, Doris, the Thunder had the second most wins in the NBA.
It's mind-boggling to consider that. That was clearly during the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden era. The Spurs had the most in that time frame. What that can tell you, though, is small market teams can win in the NBA.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Kennard for 3. Out to the wing. Here's Coffey. Trains the three-pointer.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
Now, here's Melodon. Defense is right there. Giddey with the screen on Wall. Here's Melodon. Greg, we know a lot of teams using former NBA officials now working as consultants to teach their players how the refs see the game. Is always looking for that edge.
Yeah, Kevin, I think it's a great idea because philosophically sometimes as the rules evolve, players got to learn how to evolve with them. So not getting the calls you might expect, also how you communicate with officials. I think all of that stuff plays a big role in just furthering that dynamic between the officials and the player.
That free throw, good for Melodon.
And since 1999, the Clippers and Lakers have shared their downtown LA arena, the only NBA teams to split a venue, but that's going to change soon.
He hits both from the stripe. Here's Jackson, and it's the Clippers' ball. They're on a 14-6 run. It's George on the wing, puts up a 3, and another 3 for the Clippers. The Clippers broke ground on their new arena, set to open in Inglewood in 2024. I've seen the footprint. You fly right into LAX. and you see it every time. It's going to be beautiful.
And that'll be huge for the Clips. They're trying to create their own identity in Southern California. Having a venue just for the Clippers will help.
Muscala misses.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Here's Zubats. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Clippers.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for George.
They simply can't stop him right now. This guy playing with passion and focus.
Out left to the wing. From outside the arc, and another 3 for the Clippers.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
Here's Mann. Muscala with the ball. And that time, also a missed shot. Here's Coffey. Here's Boston. Launches a 3. Bangs home the trifecta.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Kawhi, how satisfied are you with your team's performance tonight in this win?
We did a great job tonight. You know, we got to come in every game with the defensive hat on first, and we did that tonight. We made shots, and we ended up winning the game.
You took it to them when it mattered, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now, our New Balance player of the game, Paul George.